Well, good Sunday afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I woke up this morning at the red brick house, and this evening, here I am back at my regular house and stuff. Who knows where I'll be for my fireside chat, because I'm like Papa, and Papa was a Rolling Stone, because wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. So I'm here, of course, with some friends. We have been doing this now. This is year number 3 of this. And this is, one, we love football so much that Sunday afternoons, we just love to be around talking about football, even though we can't watch it. And 2, we started it as a bitching out session for the Joneses. And it seems like nothing has changed over the years here. And so right now I've got Troy Daniels and I got Thomas Garrett in the house here. Gentlemen.
I'm here.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Very
We are here. Go ahead.
Gotta stop the Dallas, please.
Man, it is kind of crazy right now that we are beginning free agent frenzy tomorrow. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock starts free agent frenzy. Teams will legally be able to start talking with players that they want to sign. And the Dallas Cowboys right now have a little over $1 million. How are you feeling about that, Troy? The slim, trim Troy Daniels.
Oh my gosh, $1 million. What could we do with $1 million? And that's after they signed their draft class too. I don't know that you could do much right now. Well, going to have to start shaving or.
Well, okay. Here's what I will say that is possible: is the same way that on Friday, we ended up flipping the switch on Travis Frederick's contract and getting some cash. They could do that with anybody they wanted to. And for all we know, they probably have it prepared that maybe if a deal came across that just blew them away, that they would go ahead and say, let's go ahead and flip that trigger and sign that player. Because technically you can't sign anybody until Wednesday. So they don't have to actually have the money until Wednesday to make that deal. Or they could release somebody to make that deal get done. But, as much as we heard that Jerry, you can look at it from where we're going to be bringing in the talent and things, and we're going to be all in. I think his definition of all in is definitely different than our definition. So
yeah, usually when a poker player says it's all in, they all their chips at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all in. All in.
Right. And so
you're pushing into the pot.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, when he first mentioned it around the Super Bowl, I'm thinking, well, he's gonna pick up as many top free agents as out there. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. I'm sitting here, I'm getting all excited and stuff. Excuse me. I'm sitting there, I'm getting all excited and stuff, and then here comes
the cold blanket or the cold water thrown on us.
Yeah, shout out to Game Time Brian. He came up with a new nickname for him. Here comes Leopard Face. Leopard Face had the nerve to say, well, it's a different all in he talking about. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, well no, he was actually, I don't know the year that he hasn't really been all in. It was kind of like last year he said, when Jerry's gone, I doubt that we're going to be as risk takers like with Jerry. I'm like, what risks are you guys taking?
What? Yeah, I'm like, what are you trying to tell us, man?
Oh, my goodness.
We haven't done nothing since the 90s. I mean, good God.
Right.
Let me say shout out to Laura Cook, whose mom signed her up for track. Shout out to you. Joanne Gonzalez in the house. Kayvon McNeil. Clouds Coffee. Do I sell my autograph? Maybe like your photo that we can autograph and we can buy. If Clouds, if you really want a picture of me with my autograph, just send me your address. I'll be happy to send it to you. Okay.
He'll be happy to make you something out of wood and sign it.
There you go. How about that one? We'll do that. Go Pack Go. You know, it's funny that the Packers have one good season, and now it's how many excuses for Dak. How about you, Go Pack Go? Go to fuck on. Okay, just go on, fucking Go Pack. It's like I had a 49er fan who literally sent me a picture of Brock Purdy because he got married. Brock Purdy's a real man. He got married. The fuck?
Who cares if he gets married?
Thank you. Oh, okay. So he's got the ball and chain and he lost in the Super Bowl. Okay, there you go.
Hey, okay. Double threat. That's good.
Yeah. Clouds Coffee, thank you. I appreciate being your favorite YouTuber. Okay, so the Cowboys, SSL TV, what's going on? How you doing, man? All right. Hopefully I see Game Time's not in here. Hopefully you two don't mix it up and everything else with the doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. This is what drives me crazy is the Cowboys' mentality of, remember when the trade deadline was around? They were like, well, you know, we'll answer some calls, you know, but, you know, we'll look for any deals that can make us better. You know, basically, you're just going to sit around and wait for somebody to make a trade with you. I don't see how that works. I always believe that you make things happen. You call somebody else up and say, hey, I got a deal for you, man. A deal that you can't resist. But you're sitting around waiting for somebody to call you to make a trade.
Mark, technically they were saying we're not doing anything in the deadline.
Well,
that's what Steven was trying to say.
There you go. Well, that's exactly what they did. Shout out to Alex. If you send Dak packing, use savings to sign Lance long term and beef up the O-line, can we win with that? You know, I was going to save this for later, but let me ask you this. Okay, I'm glad I got you guys here. If the Dallas Cowboys brought in Zach Wilson and had him for a starter, how would the Cowboys be?
Like the Jets.
Huh?
Like the Jets.
You say
Russell Wilson?
Okay. No. I said Zach Wilson.
Oh, that's right.
Zach Wilson.
Quarterback out of the Jets.
Yeah, a number 2 pick in the draft. Okay.
Maybe make him a second rounder.
Okay. How about if we brought in, say, Jacoby Brissett?
Kobe's got some years on him.
Did he just announce his retirement?
I'm just hypothetical. This is just hypotheticals, okay?
I think if he was available, go get him as your backup.
Okay. No, as your starter. How about, let's say, somebody like, I don't know, Matty Ice?
No.
Matt Ryan, no. Still not getting there.
Okay. That is an example of what we did before we got Tony Romo. Because, see, we got the number 1 draft pick we brought in here in Ryan Leaf, the biggest bust in the history of football. So I look at him and I say, well, that's kind of like Zach Wilson, right? Zach Wilson was number 2 pick in the draft by the Jets, right? That's kind of what we did, okay? When you think about somebody like Jacoby Brissett, who was, kind of like Quincy Carter was a 2nd round draft pick, right? That's kind of like a Quincy Carter.
That's these young fans with this fantasy football mentality, and then if you were to bring them in and they start screwing up, they would be like, I can't stand him. And I'm like, right. Whoa, but you the one, you were the ones that said bring him in.
Well, but my example here was, here's what I was trying to do, because that example that I'm giving you is exactly the kind of solutions we had before we were stable with Tony Romo and then Dak Prescott. We kept bringing in the Anthony Wrights. We ended up drafting the Quincy Carters. We ended up bringing in the Ryan Leafs, the what was his name from Cleveland, Vinny Testaverdes. We ended up bringing in, the Randall Cunninghams that was on his way out. We kept going through. We were literally like in a whole, an express line of quarterbacks over and over again. So I see this guy says, well, why don't you just go ahead and sign Trey Lance long term? First of all, that'd be stupid to sign him long term when you don't even know the guy can play. You let him play this year on the $5 million and so on, and then you would try and sign him later on if he could play. But to do that, here's what you are doing is at the moment you got $59 million that you owe Dak for this year and 36 that you had pushed into next year. So you got $90 million that you're going to pay Dak Prescott to say, walk out of here. At worst case, you were saying, scenario to me would be, is you just play Dak this year and you let him walk out next year. At least you're only incurring, $35 million next year, as opposed to just paying $90 million for the next 2 years, because what you're essentially doing is you are giving up on the season. If you cut Dak, you're just giving up on the season, right?
Yeah.
You're literally just saying, we're rebuilding. That's what you're doing. You've already lost Tyron Smith, and maybe that's the plan. The thing that drives me crazy is we always wait to the last minute to do stuff. We've been seeing teams doing the bloodletting all week. We saw Buffalo that realized, between Von Miller's and Diggs' contract and Josh Allen's that, we don't have enough money to operate. We got to get rid of it. You're seeing Denver realizing that the Russell Wilson experiment was bad and, moving on from Jerry Jeudy for a 5th and a 6th. And we think that Michael Gallup's going to be able to work out a deal. So the Cowboys believe that there's interest from the Carolina Panthers for a deal for him. Why would I?
That ain't the count. That ain't the count with Philadelphia having 2 players retiring already.
Yeah. The thing is why do you think that somebody's going to trade for Michael Gallup now, when they know that you have to cut him or take $4 more million of his guaranteed money by next Sunday? Would I go ahead and say, let me go ahead and take on, the next couple of years of that contract and give you up draft compensation? I would say, I'm going to wait till you cut him and see if I can sign him.
Right.
Right? So,
right. But I'm going to say this, Mark. I'm going to say this, though, Mark. Mm-hmm. When we do get rid of Michael Gallup, don't be surprised if somebody like Kansas City pick him up and he have a career year next year.
Oh, that always happens.
And if that happened,
mm-hmm.
we do not have the right to say a damn word. We don't have a right to say a word because all of us,
mm-hmm.
wanted him out of Dallas.
Yeah, we want him with somebody that we can replace as good, though.
That's the key. But see,
Kansas City, they have always been known, whenever they see a wide receiver get released, they would pick him up and they would have a hell of a year. Not only have a hell of a year, but go to the Super Bowl and win a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that was happening to Michael Gallup,
you
can't say nothing.
Nomi Logan's just put out there something I've said myself. I don't think they want to re-sign Dak because they don't want him to hold all the Cowboys records. And when you look at it, I think it's like 49 TDs he's away from the Cowboys all-time record and like 4,700 yards passing. And I think you do have something there. I said that one a couple of, about a week or two ago, and I remember talking about with Game Time Brian with that as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know of that's going on in the background. Somebody said Baker Mayfield is closing in on a contract of 3 years, $115 million. Okay.
I just got the notification seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations to Baker Mayfield. The thing that's still crazy to me is the Cowboys wait till the last minute to do stuff. It's not, to me, Michael Gallup should be the easy one. And this is where I think they make their problems is they're so apt to try and get a deal, a bargain, that they end up making mistakes. Because here's the thing. Would we have been better off signing Michael Gallup to a 1-year deal, holding on to Amari Cooper, or doing what we did?
Well,
I mean, it's $13 million that you paid him. Or excuse me, $11 million you paid him for that year.
Well, me and a buddy of mine, we was talking about it a while back, and he told me something that made sense. He said, man, if you ask me, I think we got rid of the wrong wide receiver.
Oh, we definitely did. Or we would have been better off had we kept Cedric Wilson. You know, Cedric Wilson was in better shape. Because here's my point on this is that sometimes we end up saying, we can't live without this guy, and we re-sign him. Well, what if we had taken $13 million and went out and got a free agent wide receiver who wasn't coming back from an ACL?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or Zeke Elliott's contract after his fourth year was $90 million. Would we have been better off if we had said, Zeke, let him go and probably get a third-round draft pick, compensatory pick? Think about this for a second. We had DeMarco Murray with 1,800 yards, Cowboys record, and we let him go, right? What if we had re-signed him? Where would we have gone from that point? Think about this for a second. DeMarco Murray going to Philadelphia gave us a fourth-round compensatory pick. It left us shorthanded on running backs. We had Darren McFadden, who was finally old in the tooth. We had a bad season, but we were able to draft Zeke Elliott with the third pick.
Fourth.
Fourth pick, sorry, fourth.
It was
and
fourth.
That compensatory pick was Dak Prescott.
Yep. And I was about ready to say that because I was getting ready to say if it wasn't for DeMarco Murray, if it wasn't for that acquisition of Philadelphia, we would have never gotten Dak.
So instead of paying the $90 million that we did to Zeke, I don't know that we necessarily would have gotten the third round pick or we would have done something good with it, but we wouldn't have had the cap ramifications. When you think about Jalen Smith, who had one really good year, and we decided to lock him up with a long-term deal, and then a year later, basically cut him, that's another one of those contracts that costs us a whole bunch of money. And when you look at our salary cap situation for this year, we still have $6 million that we're paying Zeke. We got $6 million that we're paying Tyron Smith because they restructured the contracts, and that went to this voidable year. For last year, we got $2 million on Dorrance Armstrong. And see, here's the thing with the Cowboys is every year it's like the annual, let's restructure contracts so that way we can get back to zero. And they do that, kicking these contracts down the road. And so that money right now, which is $15 million right now, it'll be another 3 or 4 this year with Michael Gallup and then another 8 then the next year, is part of the problem. It's like a cycle that you can't get out of. You keep having to restructure deals to pay that stuff off, and then you're afraid to go ahead and sign, a free agent. So you say, we know this guy, so we'll pay them. And you're letting them go as fast as you do free agents that come in. So when you signed La'el Collins to a $50 million deal, only was here for 2 years of it, and 1 year he was completely injured. When you sign Michael Gallup to a $57 million contract, and he's only going to be here 2 years, you sign for $38 million, I think, for Jalen Smith, and he was only here for a year and a half more after that one. You sign Zeke Elliott, and then he's gone 3 years after it. There's your problem. The money that you've used saying we can't live without those guys might have been better suited doing a short-term contract with a guy who's proven. That's just my thinking, at least.
Would be easier.
And I heard New England just re-signed Zach the other day.
Yeah, he did.
They just re-signed Zeke the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they restructured his contract, if I remember.
No, he was a free agent. He was on a 1-year deal last year.
Martin, let's see where Mac Jones went to Jacksonville.
Mac Jones went what? You're kind of breaking up, Loyal.
To Jacksonville.
He went to Jacksonville? Okay.
You know what?
Did you hear where Mac Jones went to Jacksonville?
He went to Jacksonville. No, I didn't hear that. Okay.
I saw that.
My internet.
Okay.
And you know what, Loyal Cowboy? If I'm him, if I'm Mac Jones, I'm the happiest man in the world for two reasons. One, the fans are gonna love you down in Jacksonville. You're the backup quarterback, and you know the old saying, the fans love the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Two, guess where he's from?
Where's he from?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's going home.
Hometown boy going home.
So you know he's gonna be the hometown favorite. And Trevor Lawrence, you better not screw up. You better not screw up. You better not even throw an interception, because one interception you throw, we won't Mac Jones in the game. We won't Mac. There's gonna be a campaign to have him in the game if you throw an interception. Okay. I don't care if the interception wasn't your fault. You better not throw an interception.
So who do we think Dallas has really got their eyes set on at this point?
Well, here's what we kind of heard, that they are interested in Saquon and Derrick Henry, but
Saquon's going to Philadelphia.
It's got to be the right price. So they're thinking about, $4 or $5 million to sign one of those guys after paying $10 million for Tony Pollard. So
I'd say let Tony Pollard go see what he can find. If he doesn't find it, bring him back for $3 million. But you've got to get either Henry or Saquon. Yeah, you have to get one of those two.
I don't want Saquon.
If I'm Derrick Henry, I'd be like, yeah, I come here for $5 million, but I also got to have some bonuses on the side. Some lucrative stuff.
Yeah, it's
that. Where's a piece of paper? I got my pen in my breast pocket. I sign a dotted line right now.
Add the incentives.
Yeah, hell, I already got a crib in Dallas anyway.
Yeah,
that's a win-win there.
Well, it's a win-win, but you have to have the Joneses want to do something, and we know that the Joneses, they're more sizzle than actual substance. They'll get you excited. I don't know if they just get off on knowing that they can trick our emotions. That they know that we're going to be all excited and watching and everything that they do, and then they disappoint us. I mean, it could be a narcissist.
I don't know, Brian. Saquon to the Ravens. I don't think that's probably going to happen, but who knows?
Has anyone there heard anything? Has Jimmy Johnson had any say on anything? Everybody's been talking about he's going to be a consultant, but if they talk to him,
good luck with that.
I haven't heard anything more. He's probably out fishing right now.
And see,
of course, Catboy gets in there and runs his mouth, and it's all good until he runs his mouth. Once Catboy runs his mouth, then everybody gets mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And and I did y'all hear the interview that Tyler Lewan had?
Yeah, that he was making the case for Derrick Henry going to there's a lot. I mean, everybody's made the case, and I look at it from the standpoint of saying that you need a guy like him. If you're telling me, and this is the reason I was bringing up about those mistakes about restructuring contracts, you should look at that as not a every year type of business. You should look at it and say, okay, this year we look around the NFL and we know that the Eagles right now are in transition. They got new, coordinators on the offense and the defense again. They've lost Fletcher Cox. They've lost Kelsey and so on. That they're going to be probably taking a step back. We know Washington's got a lot of money and draft picks, but they've got Dan Quinn, new coach. That we look at this and say that we don't think that we're going they're going to be that good. We know the Giants, well, they're just ass. And Daniel Jones probably won't be ready to start, and they're losing Saquon Barkley. So, you should look at that and say, the San Francisco 49ers, they're going to be taking a step back. Now, we know we got, will the Green Bay Packers be better than they were last year? But you should look at that and say, we've actually been a good team for the last 3 years. Let's try and go ahead and get over the hump. Let's restructure some contracts now and get ourselves some more players and try and make a run. and they don't do that. It's still, we're building for the future. What do you think you're building for Super Bowl 35 or something? What are you talking about? As an Eagle fan,
Stephen Jones, stop talking about the future. Your future is now, dude. Stop talking about this. We need our money for the future. I'm like, future.
He says that every year. Every year he says that.
That's not the way you build a team.
For one,
he said that when he said that for T-Law. He said that for Dak. He said that for Zeke. Every year he says that.
Yeah.
For one, that excuse is getting old, man.
Let me get the super chat in here. We the ones. As an Eagle fan, I almost feel bad for Dak because it's pretty obvious that the Jones don't want him to win. If I'm Dak, I'm taking my $59 million and leaving. Shout out to you on that one. And I can't say that I disagree with that.
So did Fletcher Cox officially retire then? Or?
Yes, he did. Yeah. He officially retired today. Now, Cloud's Coffee, let me clarify that. Mark, I saw in a comment on your video saying Dak was on maternity leave, and that's why he has to sign a new contract. Is that true? No, that's me speculating. That's me doing my best, ESPN, rumor and thing. But I did kind of hear somebody. I did get a little birdie in my ear say, "Don't worry about the contract; it's going to be done." That the Cowboys and him were saying, "Enjoy the newness of your baby and stuff." And we got plenty of time to deal with your contract because, of course, the Cowboys, they're never in a rush to do anything. The only reason to be in a rush to do Dak Prescott's contract is you want to be a player in free agency early on, and that's not their way. We all know that's not their way.
So was Dak looking at a team-friendly contract then? I thought I'd heard that.
Well, he kind of said, we'll look at it and things and want to do things for the team. But right. I would need here's my thing, and this is where people say he's greedy. The Cowboys had $680,000 year one, $680,000 year two, $680,000 year three. $2 million year four. And how many big name players did they bring in?
0.
There you have it. You paid him chump change. You had your backup quarterback some of those years making more money than Dak Prescott, your starting quarterback. And you did absolutely positively nothing more with that extra money. So if I'm going to say, you know what, Steven? I'll take less money or I'll take more years. What are you going to do for me? Are you getting me a legitimate running back? Are you getting me another offensive lineman? Are you going to get a linebacker that's actually a linebacker?
Center. What are they doing at center? That's the other thing. Are they going to go after the draft?
We believe in our own guys.
And as a matter of fact, another center just got cut today.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There are players out there. When they do sign free agents, it's always guys that are past their prime and on their way out the door. And this is where I look at it and I say collectively, as all the linebackers we brought in here, all of the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, that maybe you might have been better off taking that money and packaging it up and getting one really good guy that might have some staying power.
If we could get Derrick Henry on a 3-year deal and do something here in the next 3 years, I think that could possibly...
That would make fans feel better.
Oh, yeah. It would also take some of that heat off of Dak to have to either use his legs or throw to the receivers. Because right now, with that running game...
The Joneses suck.
It's a joke.
Baker Mayfield got $30 million, which is actually chump change now in the grand scheme of things. Yep. Sugar Daddy Williams says, I have my concerns about Bass. Yeah, Bass will probably end up being starter at center right now. He's probably penciled in at the moment. And we'll see. And you have to figure the Cowboys in the first round will be going offensive line.
They have to.
That will almost be a no-brainer.
I mean, we're losing Biotish. We're definitely going to lose Tyron Smith.
Oh, Linda. Shout out to Linda. Linda said he did do something extra with the money. He put it on his yacht and his mansion for him and his son.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Shouldn't have seemed like that because he never does anything with the money. They save
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Sugar Daddy Williams says Bass is a crapshoot. Snake eyes. Oh, man. Baker is a team player. What a great guy. Oh, my God. Here we go. So, if I'm Dak and you're basically saying we're going to do business as usual, why should I take less money? Is CeeDee Lamb saying he's going to take less money?
Nope.
Is Micah Parsons saying he's going to take less money?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. Did anybody else on the team say that they would take less money?
No, it's an all for one and none for all.
There you go. So why is it that Dak Prescott has to be the only one
exactly
to take
it seems
less
like
money?
Every year the Cowboys are going to him. Hey, can we restructure your deal? Can we do this? Can we do that? You're right, Mark. They don't go to like CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons. Obviously, I think this is what his 5th-year option on his rookie.
Clouds Coffee says Baker got the divisional round and getting $30 million. That's a bargain. Well, had we played against the Eagles, we would have gotten the division round too. Clouds.
I tell you what it all boiled down to.
What's that?
It all boiled down to Dak was not the right quarterback that they wanted to put their money on and bank on.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback that they wanted to put their money on was Kellen Moore.
Hey, oh shit. Here we go.
He was the future.
We got Leo. Oh, fuck.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, hell.
Here we go.
Okay, we can all go now. It's the Leo show.
Oh, lordy. Okay. Let's try and get a word in here before he finally gets up on here. Let me welcome Leo.
You know, I am not a smart man. And after reading all the things that I've been reading about the Eagles today, I am even dumber than I was this morning. That's right.
Yes, you
It is
are.
getting harder and harder to calculate the calculations of the cornbread because I can't do math and I can't remember numbers. I'm getting really dumb. And I'm already
Mark,
dumb.
I'll see you
But that's
next
just
week,
the way it
man.
is.
Welcome, Leo. How are you doing, man? Okay. I wish I actually had the other one that I think I've got it down at the other house where he talks about they literally quit and he loves cocks. Oh boy. Okay, especially on a day that he's lost his cocks.
Did he say that?
But he said no.
You guys would pervert this day. I figure you would figure out a way to needle somebody, and I'm all for it. I want to know.
Okay.
This is a joyous day. I'm happy for Fletcher. I'm happy for Jason. Those guys went out, healthy, seemingly healthy, and well respected around the league, not just in the city.
And I'm happy that they're gone.
And I'm happy for them. What they need to do is they need to get somewhere, go in an empty room, and start writing the Hall of Fame speech.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
Get somewhere.
I'm sure you guys are happy that you don't have to deal with them no more.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. No, we don't.
Yep.
They don't have to deal with us. Shit.
Now, if we could just take care of Davis, I think we'll be okay.
No. Our succession plan has been in place for the last few years, and I think it should be a seamless succession. I don't think that there's going to be that big of a drop off. I don't anticipate there being that big of a drop off in production. Considering,
Tell me this, Leo.
yes, sir.
What are y'all gonna do with
Kellen Moore.
No. What are y'all gonna do with Sweat and
He's
what's
on the
his
trade
name?
block.
The triple guy.
Hassan,
That rumor. there are rumors going around the league that they may be trade bait, dude.
That or they're going to be cut.
Yeah, no, they're not going to be cut.
released.
That would be crazy. But I do know that they are being shopped around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but here's the thing: both of them are still under contract. We still got a year left with Hassan on his current contract, and we just signed Josh not too long ago. So, again, as a matter of fact, I think he's due for another contract as well, at least in a year. So it's not like, you know, they're like impending free agents or anything like that. They're both under contract right now. You know, so whatever we can get, you know, and I will say this too. I think to me, Mark was asking this question. He's been asking this question since the end of the season. And I think that, and I said we need an offseason to understand what happened. But to me, this is another variable into what happened with the collapse. It wasn't just, I don't think the Eagles are just holding just those coordinators responsible too. I think they're holding some of the players responsible as well. Because when you hear the stories about the lack of discipline and disrespect towards the coaches during the course of the year, I would imagine that maybe Josh and Hassan might have been, you know, a couple of the guys that was, you know, being disrespectful as well.
That could be.
Well, isn't Hassan?
Could be, because they said after that Tampa game, they said Jeffrey Lloyd was pissed.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. That's something you rarely hear. You understand what I'm saying? Like in terms of from the Eagles, from the owner of the Eagles, you don't really hear that many stories like that. So when it happens, it is notable. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, and that's why, you know, I think, you know, when Mark was asking, you know, what happened, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, we're finding out, you know what I'm saying? At least to what degree some of the things that were happening at the course of the end of the season is what's coming out. But the good news is that we have plenty of draft capital. We have plenty of, you know, cap room space. You know what I'm saying? So we can go get some guys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know,
all right. So thank you for the Eagles report there, Leo. And Leo, looks like you got a haircut too there, bro. Appreciate that. Now back to our regularly scheduled program here of talking about the Dallas Cowboys as opposed to the dumpster fire that is the Philadelphia Eagles. The thing there's one thing that you don't take into consideration when you talk about your team, okay? And that is the black cloud that's hanging over you, which is Kellen Moore, okay? Kellen Moore is so smart, he outsmarts himself with his play calling. And the trick plays, they only trick themselves with. Moving right along. You're thinking that Kellen Moore is going to do the same thing with us that he did with you guys and the Chargers.
So look what he did with San Diego or LA last year.
Leo, Kellen Moore sucks.
He sucks.
Plain and simple. He sucks.
And you know, but just from the outside looking in here, this is the third play caller in 3 years. How often does changing the play caller year after year work? That's a Washington Commanders type thing.
Well,
Leo, through the common sense, man. Basic common sense. You would have thought Kellen Moore would have been like, well, okay, I need to get my shit together. You know, I kind of fucked up on Dak.
Mm-hmm.
I got another All-Pro quarterback in Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. I'm gonna make changes, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. Make Herbert a better, make him a better quarterback.
What was that? I don't know. 100 people that you want to know. So
who are you talking about, Mark?
Leo's cover thing right there. I guess he slipped out or whatever, but his cover photo is off of a magazine cover. 100 people you want to know. I don't know. I got 200 people out here right now that don't want to know you.
Leo, getting back to what I was about ready to tell you.
Yeah.
Getting back to the hydrogen bomb I was about ready to drop.
Uh-oh.
What I'm saying is, common sense would have said that this fool would have went to Los Angeles, would have been like, okay, I'm gonna make Justin Herbert a better quarterback, like I did Dak. I'm not gonna make the mistakes that I made in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be damn if he went out to Los Angeles and made the same mistake, made worse of mistakes. What tells me that he's gonna get better when he get out in Philadelphia? And I've heard that Jalen Hurts got one more time to have a effed up year like he did last year, and then y'all gonna bring this dumb summage in Philadelphia. Hey man, Joe fuck up, not mine. Pardon my language, Mark.
Yeah, no. Let me say this. The last time, and I know you guys know this because I'm sure you guys were watching it, but the last time we had that kind of scenario play out with our quarterback, what happened? They got rid of him. And this is the guy that went number 2 in the draft behind Jared Goff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of him. And pretty much, you know,
hold it. Let's stop. Let me stop you there for a second.
Sure.
Just because somebody is drafted high does not mean that they are legitimate. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because Zach Wilson was also the second pick in the draft.
Number 2, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but we would
same position as Carson Wentz.
Well, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? Understand something. We would have never made it to the Super Bowl if not for Carson Wentz. He was having.
I don't know about that, but you know what's
but hold
it, Leo.
About that because
y'all had that 4th place schedule.
What's the name? Bailed y'all out late in the year after when Carson Wentz tore his AC and MCL. I don't know about that. I don't know.
And you had that 4th case schedule too. That y'all ended up winning a bunch of games, and all of a sudden, before anybody knew about it, it's like, wait a minute, the Eagles? You guys were, as opposed to when you are the team coming back, of course, you got the high draft picks, you've got the softer schedule, and nobody is worried about you coming from 4th place. And you guys, and don't get me wrong, you guys made some great moves. Getting Jay Ajayi from Miami was a big play right there because you were able to run the football, which helped out that young quarterback. You had that great offensive line and stuff. So I don't know that it was, Carson Wentz, yes, those 13 games he played in, y'all played really, really well. He didn't fuck it up. But you don't look at it and say, we won those all because of Carson Wentz.
But you don't not give him credit either.
I'm giving him credit of not fucking it up, but I don't know that he was that you look at and say he was up here, like that, and all of a sudden the rest of his career was down here. Maybe that was just because you will have a peak. Maybe that just was his peak, and they had the system there to support him. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but clearly he was not the same guy when the pressure was on. And I don't think there was that much pressure on that year number 2 after as bad as that year number 1 was.
Yeah, but all right. So I'm thinking in terms of Carson had gotten a $100-something million contract off the year, right?
Yeah.
And when they got that contract, that was when we drafted Jalen Hurts too.
Yes.
Okay. So in my thought process, and I think I've explained this to you before, Mark, was that when
Brother Ross,
I was really happy when they drafted Jalen Hurts, only because I thought that Jalen Hurts would be a serviceable backup QB, having learned our lesson with Nick Foles. Mm-hmm. Because Nick Foles had left Philadelphia and went to Chicago, so we were in need of a good backup QB.
Yeah, Philly 500 didn't like that choice, though.
Okay, I'll get it.
I'm sorry?
Okay.
Philly 500 sure didn't like that choice, though.
Oh, he did. He was like, why does Trey Carson? No, okay. So, Brother Ross, shout out to Brother Ross. We haven't seen Brother Ross in a long time. Here's my point. Just hear me out for a second.
Go for it.
After Nick Foles, after Carson Wentz's rookie season, people looked at him and was like, meh, he came out with no pressure. There were no expectations of anything going into that year with a 4th place schedule. He got into a groove, got comfortable, played really well. He was an MVP candidate until he got hurt. After he came back and what the team ended up doing, going to the Super Bowl, now expectations were on him from that point forward. He got that contract and was expected to be the guy. Now, all of a sudden, I've got everybody on my back expecting, as opposed to when there was no pressure. I mean, maybe that was it. I don't know. But clearly, clearly the injury and coming back with the expectations were a killer.
And also, like for me, I'm one of those people. You got one time to show me bitch assness, and then you got to go.
Yeah, and that's where you're right, and that's where his attitude came in. The whole thing with him not even speaking with his coach. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That was, and it was like, to me, it was like in response to them drafting Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
and it was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. I like, you only got one time to show me bitch ass.
And the other part on that too is sometimes injuries are more devastating than we think too, because you think about RG3's was completely devastating. That changed his game. Yeah. I think about just with our own guys, with Neville Gallimore. I mean, I remember seeing that guy truck Mike Pouncey. But after he hyperextended his elbow, he was never the same after he came back, and so on. So maybe that injury changed him completely. I don't know. Now, something happened, and I just think that maybe he peaked, and he got exposed with the injury, and then the pressure was constantly on him after that.
Now, I will say this: the one thing, and I've been watching, and I've been paying attention, because I was really. I'll be honest with you, and this is probably like the only nice thing I will say.
Oh, Lordy, here we go.
Which is, I was sort of kind of like in the same boat with Stephen A. Smith when Dak got hurt. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want that to happen. It was not what I wanted to happen. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see, I really wanted, Dak was balling out. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that amazes me the most is that you look at the way he played last year and the year before and the year before that, you would never think that he was a quarterback that had that kind of a catastrophic injury. I see no remnants. I see no lack of confidence in how he runs or anything like that. And I've always admired that about him. Like, God damn, this dude, you would never think that he
had that kind of
hurt
injury
like that.
Yeah. And had a Kellen Moore coaching him.
Yeah. Leo,
Jason Garrett.
Leo, I can agree with you on that for one reason. That's because I've seen a lot of quarterbacks get their leg broke like Dak did and never recover from it.
They never be right again.
Never recover from that.
But that goes also to the work ethic of after having an injury too. Some guys have it like, they said Chase Young, after he tore his ACL, that he was not a guy that was working that hard to get back out on the field. And that was part of the reason why it took him so long to get anywhere close to being back the way he was. Some guys are just naturally gifted, can show up, can play. The ones that become the Hall of Famers are the guys that are constantly working and putting it in there. And a lot of times when you're young, you have success and you think, oh, well, this shit's easy, man. I've already arrived. I'm already one of the best that's out there. And you don't put in the work and you get found out. And I don't know if any of those were, Carson Wentz, you have to almost look at it, I guess, as really a bust.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty sad fall from grace, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
To be up so high and then, however many years later you're down here. You're not even, you're not even in the bargain basement. The bargain bin. So I and real quick, as far as my picture goes, Mark, I keep telling you, bro, you gotta Google your boy. I'm that guy. I'm really that guy. Like, if anybody's here, take a chance, do a Google search, Leo Bridgewater. Trust me, it's not, that's well warranted. I'm saying it humbly. And when you do, scroll all the way up. I did all those things. And I'm still doing them. So,
Leo, I told Mark a while back, I told him, I said, man, these young players that come in the league, yeah, you had that one kick-ass year, but I tell you this, and the same thing happened with Jalen Hurts. I told Mark, I said, Mark, after you have that 1 year, that's all it takes. After you have that 1 year, all 31 defensive coordinators And they doing it right now to this second.
Mm-hmm.
To this
Are
present
studying
second.
everything about
They are
you.
in some room. They are in some lab. They are looking at tape on you. They are seeing what are your strengths and what are your flaws are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that following summer when the season started, you can best bet that they got film on you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what separates the good from the great, because regardless of how much film people or how much they study on you, if you can't still solve the puzzle,
and that's like a I don't mean to bring up my hood mentality, but that's just like a dope dealer. That next dope dealer, he gonna have film on you. He gonna want to know, how can he make this dope deal here? How can he make that dope deal there? Because he's looking at that number one dope dealer and he's seeing how he's making his dope deals.
Damn, Leo, can a brother hold something? Shit.
Yeah.
See my man up on Capitol Hill and shit here. Fuck. Back to my question. Can a brother hold something here?
I got you, dog. I got you.
I don't mean to bring out my hood mentality, but that's fact.
No. I think you're absolutely correct, and that is right in the way you perfectly put that in its proper place. Mm-hmm. The thing is that what's different, and I have to look at every scenario differently and stuff, but one thing that Dak has been able to enjoy is stability from a coaching standpoint. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't had to change offensive coordinators in back to back years.
And that's hard. That's hard.
And you got to learn a new language, a new system.
Bang bang bird gang. Yes, you're right. They have a lot of film on Dak Prescott, but it seemed like it didn't stop him from throwing 36 TDs and 9 interceptions, though, did it?
Absolutely. And
right?
And again,
they have film. Yeah, they have film on him.
And now, and imagine if Dak had turmoil with his coaching, with his coordinators. You see what I'm saying? He hasn't had that. You know what I'm saying? Which is that's a blessing in of itself. It's not a knock at all. I'm just saying when you compare the two, you know what I'm saying? Now,
Leo, it's not about you, bro. We on the cusp of free agent frenzy here. We finally have a Cowboys trying to make the simplest of decisions of moving on from Michael Gallup. We got not even $2 million. We got $1 million going into free agent frenzy, and we're trying to figure out how the hell we're going all in. And you got all your philosophies and shit,
Are y'all all in? Is this what all in?
Oh shit! All in the toilet.
All in the trash.
Okay, we all in the dumpster.
Damn, Derek.
Okay, I mean seriously, we all in. That's Jerry. Listen. P.T. Barnum.
Derrick Henry was coming to the Cowboys.
P.T. Barnum.
To Dallas?
Huh?
Didn't Derrick Henry
he's got 2 houses, but so what? Hopkins last year was working out with Dez Bryant in Dallas, and literally saying, "What's up, Cowboys? What's up?"
Yeah.
Okay. We've had Bobby Wagner literally saying, I'd like to come to the Cowboys.
I remember
Von Miller was there with DeMarcus Ware and stuff saying, "Hey, what's up, Cowboys?" Yep. And that don't mean a damn thing, because you got Stephen dumbass Jones, who is like, if you gotta go into free agency, you have to overpay a guy, and that just proves that you messed up 2 years ago. Okay, well, idiot, if you messed up 2 years ago, fix the damn thing then. You ain't fixing it by ignoring the damn problem.
Yeah, fix it.
Yep. Hold on for a second, guys. I gotta
look at it. 100 people you should know. Leo Bridgewater. Okay. All right. We know him. Do we feel like we should know him? Okay. All right. So, Derek, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I missed the
stream last
couple of weeks because I'd be knocked out, and I wake up and it's 7 o'clock. I was like, damn, so that's been me.
Hey, the real fan. Hey, the real fan one. I hear what you're saying, that without Dak Prescott's contract, they'd have $60 million cap space. And you know what that would look like? The Commanders. That's what it would look like. Without Dak Prescott, you'd look like the Commanders. There you go. Anybody disagree with me on that one? Everybody all of a sudden went quiet. Okay. Thomas Garrett, Troy Daniels, everybody just went quiet on it. Everybody's like cricket, cricket, cricket. No, but seriously.
I'm just waiting for Leo to come back and run the rest of the show for us.
Oh, is that what it is? No. No, we're going to lock down his microphone. And we'll just nod at him so he thinks that we're hearing him. How about that one? Mark acts like Dak is Tom Brady. Oh, and who do you act like Jalen Hurts is? Bang, 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 bird gang. Look at it. Bang, bang. Man, you're so bad. You're a Philadelphia Eagle fans and you're going to put bang, bang like the damn 49ers? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Bang, bang, bird gang? Damn. You stealing from the whiners. Kellen Moore needs to throw that Boise State playbook in the trash and get some NFL real play calls. But I hope that we're wrong and that the Cowboys are going to surprise us and that tomorrow all of a sudden we're going to hear about some contracts restructured and they're going to actually go out and get, say, Derrick Henry or Saquon, and that they're going to go out and get a linebacker.
Don't hold your breath, Mark.
Don't hold my breath.
That ain't going to happen.
There's Wade. Wade, how you doing, man?
Why?
You on the road, Wade?
Don't hold your breath. It ain't going to happen.
I can dream, can I? Well, yeah. If we all look at this.
Just we do the same thing every year. It just ain't changing.
You're right.
Nothing changes with this franchise. I mean, I kind of want us to be in a slump, like in the aspect of like I don't want to see the Cowboys lose, but I want I'd like for the Cowboys to go 4 and have a 5-win season for the next 3 years, so Jerry and Steven could eat some humble pie and lose money and maybe change. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I feel you.
I lived here in Dallas I've lived here in Dallas for 20 years, and when Dave Campo was here, we had those 3 5-11 seasons in a row. And I remember Jerry and Steven, they had tickets to the Cowboys game. You could get 4 tickets, 4 drinks, 4 hot dogs for $100.
Mm-hmm.
They were that desperate to put people in the stadium. They were not bringing in the crowds. They were losing money, and they were at an all-time low, and that's what I think this franchise needs. Again, we need to be at an all-time low, and maybe Steven and Jerry will change and realize they got to do things differently, because with the way we're going right now, we're just going to keep going one and done. That's all it's going to happen.
Yeah, and
because Dak is a good quarterback, but we're never going to put the talent around him like to put us over the top, unfortunately.
And I have to agree with you on that. And quite frankly, after the Cowboys got him his contract, you could see more deconstruction than reconstruction of the offense. After we got Dak's contract done, they got rid of Amari Cooper. They got rid of Cedric Wilson. We ended up, of course, losing Connor McGovern, Connor Williams, Lyle Collins.
Got rid of Amari Cooper because I guess the coaches didn't like him in the locker room. That's not how you run a football team.
Right.
You don't run a football team like that, Jerry. You keep players who are good, who make plays and can help you win. You don't get rid of all pro players for peanuts because you don't like them. That's not how you run a football team.
Yep.
And not only that, but you claim that you had a conversation with the one and only Bill Walsh, God rest his soul. Wasn't that one of the things that he told you? He told you.
Mm-hmm.
He told you, for one, don't personally get involved with the players. 2, you may like them or you may hate them, but if they're winning, if they're helping your team win, keep them out there. Let them win for you. All this love-hate relationship thing, You throw that out the window, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He told you this. And this was way before you bought the Cowboys.
Right.
He told you this, Jerry. What's wrong with you? You drinking too much of that Johnny Walker Blue to the point that it's making you forgettable? No, man. Shit.
Prime example, Mark, your Charles Haley. The Niners got rid of Charles Haley because of what?
Attitude
Didn't
problem.
like him.
Mm-hmm.
Attitude problems. Guess what? You got rid of him, and he went to another team and helped them win 3 Super Bowls. What a dumb move! And if they had to do it all over again, they would have did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what you have to look at when we start thinking about what the Cowboys did back in those days that we're not doing. We did make the trade for Charles Haley. We did go out there and sign free agents like Jay Novacek. We ended up signing, Nate Newton. We ended up bringing in Ray Donaldson and stuff. We brought in free agent Deion Sanders. These are moves that the Cowboys wouldn't think about doing these days. And we keep believing that, we believe in our guys, regardless. And at some point, I agree, you do have a good base of players. But sometimes you have to look at it and say, yeah, we believe in this guy, but maybe if we trade him before we have to pay him a contract, we can get something back in return to replace him. Draft pick, another player, or we don't spend so much money. And that's where I go back to saying, when Michael Gallup got injured and they figured we need this guy, they might have been better off spending $11 million a year on a free agent wide receiver who was healthy instead of signing Michael Gallup, because now you done paid him $26 million over the last 2 years, and you're going to take another $13 million for 900 yards of production. I see Jerry and Stephen Jones doing something stupid like signing Monica Lewinsky because she thinks she brings back the Clinton. Oh, man. Okay, John. John Syme. Gotcha. Okay.
Mark,
we had
even
Clinton
the
Ha-Ha
90s Cowboys,
Dicks.
you saw how many trades they did, the 90s Cowboys, that 5-year span,
51.
over 300 trades or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how many trades. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. It was a lot of trades.
Jimmy Johnson said 51 trades when I did the interview with him.
The league wasn't doing anything like that. The Cowboys were doing a lot of things the league wasn't doing.
And here it is.
We need to get back to that.
The thing is what they do now more than anything else is they sit around and they wait for somebody to make them an offer. That's what they do. That's literally what they said. Well, we'll pick up the phone, at the trade deadline, but you're not actively looking and saying, you know what, I'm kind of close, and maybe if I get a linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we ought to look at bringing in Derrick Henry. What would it cost? Because they're going to want to get rid of him at the end of the year. If we can, you made a call for Trey Lance in a position that you didn't really need. Now, for me, there was a rumor that Minnesota might be interested in Trey Lance. I don't know if there's anything to that or not. But you've got $5.5 million tied up with him and a draft pick. At this point, if you could trade him and get a fourth or a third, I would do that. Get that cap relief, get that extra money, because that's another free agent, and that's another draft pick that you can add to the roster. That's 2 players that you could get for Trey Lance.
How many compensatory picks did you guys get?
Only 2. And that's the other part of the equation of letting guys go. Again, what we pointed out was you guys picking up DeMarco Murray was the compensatory pick that we used to get Dak Prescott. So don't say that you can't get a player that can help you, because that one right there was a compensatory pick. I want to say that Jake Ferguson was also a compensatory pick.
How many total picks does that give you with the 2?
6.
6 total, yeah. I think both of those are coming in the fourth.
We don't have We don't have a 4th round pick. We got.
Oh, are they? Did they go to this? Fifth round?
One 4 and 1 5.
No, they're 5 and 6 is what we got. We don't have a 4th.
Yeah,
4
and 6. My fault.
That's right, 5 and 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a first, 2 2s, a third, 3 5s,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, we have a total of 8 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and half of them were compensatory picks at that.
Yeah. Now that's the advantage of letting guys go, and also too, if you end up being like San Francisco and having coordinators, minority candidates that are become head coaches, because you get a third round pick 2 years in a row, and that's where they've gotten 4 compensatory third round picks over the last 2 seasons, which is huge.
Right, and that's for minority coordinators who become head coaches or just coordinators, period.
Okay, so Ghostface Gaming says, and he said this a couple times, Trey Lance will only cost $22 million in 25. He's good and will be better than Dak with a team he has better skills than Dak, and many may not get scared like Dak in the playoffs. Ghostface, I'm going to actually say that he actually had a team that was pretty good that he was playing with Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuels and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. And how well did he play there? I'm asking for a friend. He didn't have a good team in San Francisco?
More than likely, he won't be better than Dak. There's not too many quarterbacks that come out of college that are playing better than Dak right now.
Amen on that. Lance is Wentz. Well, that remains to be seen if he's unless he grows up. That remains to be seen. We'll see on that one. But that might be where the Cowboys are trying to do a Steve Walsh with him. They're trying to, Jerry Jones is trying to pump him up and all that to see, hey, we turned that guy into a better pick and things or something or other.
It's got to be at least a third round pick then, right?
Well, I still say you draft quarterbacks. I mean, hell, trade Trey Lance. Just keep throwing darts. Draft quarterbacks. Hell, you never know. One of these years, you might stumble across the next Joe Montana or Tom Brady. You never know.
I love Linda. Linda, look at this. But yet, Lance couldn't beat out Sam Darnold. Have it make sense. He ain't going nowhere near Dak. Shout out to Linda.
I'm not opposed to bringing in Justin Fields as a backup QB. I don't think it would be that much of a difference in how you would run the offense and call plays. That much of a difference.
Here's what's crazy out there is, this is where Michael Gallup will be on somebody's team next year. There's not many wide receivers out there this year as far as free agency, and there's not quarterbacks wise. There ain't much. And even with that, I'm surprised that nobody's ready to take a flyer on Justin Fields. They're talking about the market being basically a number 2.
I think Atlanta is missing the boat on that.
I don't know what I was told. I was told that Kirk Cousins is gonna make a decision on the night on what he gonna do, and if he decide he won't go to Atlanta, he may be a Falcon no later than Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then
so they would rather have
Sam Darnold is him. Linda, you're killing me today, Linda. Damn, that is too funny. Justin Field won't go to the Eagles. Only the big Dak worshipers hate Trey Lance and don't give him a chance. Okay, well, here's what I would say on that Ghostface Gaming. If the Cowboys believed in him, they probably would have moved him up to being active in the number 2 quarterback last year. If they were I'm just saying he stayed as the number 3 quarterback all season. They never elevated him to number 2 where they felt that he was ready to be the backup for Dak Prescott. So if you're not saying that he's better in their eyes than Cooper Rush, then how are you ready to all of a sudden give him, because you just said sign him to a long-term contract and get pieces to go around him. The thing about this Ghost Gaming, you actually have the right idea when you say get pieces around him. The Cowboys had that opportunity for 4 years when Dak Prescott cost less than $1 million for the first 3 years and only $2 million the second. They brought in nothing to upgrade their situation. They took that money, they signed Zeke Elliott to a $90 million contract. They went and said, let's go ahead and sign Jalen Smith to a $50 million contract. Let's sign Lyle Collins to a $57 million contract. They didn't bring anybody to help Dak Prescott.
Not to mention, Mark, weren't they paying Romo for like 2 more years after Dak took over, like $20 million a year in dead money?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but see,
Wow.
dead money. But see, here's what you have to understand: is dead money is a way of life for the Cowboys. Now, the Eagles took a huge dead money hit with Carson Wentz, but I will tell you that every year, last year we were still playing Lyle Collins. We took a dead hit last year for Zeke. We're taking $6 million this year for Zeke. We're taking $6 million this year for Tyron Smith. We're taking $2 million this year for Dorrance Armstrong because they keep restructuring deals, and eventually these guys go, and that dead money's left. We got 36 right now for next year for Dak because of restructuring. So the Cowboys keep doing this thing where they do bad contracts and they just go ahead and push the money down the road. Well, the problem is we're going to have over $20 million again this year in dead money. By the time we put Michael Gallup out there, we just will. And by doing that, that $20 million could be how many really good free agents? You know? The $13 million that we're paying Michael Gallup this year, what if the Cowboys, instead of signing Michael Gallup, said, we're going to get a $50 million wide receiver?
Could have just kept Amari Cooper.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Play better than
you know, and as much as I hope Steele comes back, that Terrence Steele gets playing like he did his second year, but really, we're looking at Terrence Steele and saying he had one really great year, and we signed him to an $80 million contract. What if he's never getting back to that level that he was coming back from the injury?
Yeah, kind of like Miles Austin. You remember he had like one good little breakout year, and then they signed him to this ridiculous contract.
But he always had hamstring issues. He always had injury history, and they go out. They've done that with Marion Barber, and you look at him and say, you know, that style of running the game, you're not going to play for long. He wasn't even a full-time starter, and you paid him at that time $50 million. So these are the reasons why the Cowboys, they're afraid to pay a free agent, but they'll overpay their own guys by a mile and then get stuck holding the bag. The only one you actually have to look at, that you can actually look at and say they signed a big contract to, and they were actually able to be through their contract, is Dak Prescott. That's the only one. Not Romo, not Dez, not Terrence Williams,
Amari Cooper was still producing, but they just got rid of him.
They just didn't like him. So we're sitting here looking at the only guy who's actually lived up to his contract, and since signing his contract has been a finalist for NFL MVP, and we say, that guy sucks. Get rid of him. Oh, we can't pay him. But we keep paying Michael Gallups. We keep paying Zeke Elliott's $90 million after he's got 4 years under him. Make it make sense somehow, people. Make it make sense.
Isn't Dak a Walter Payton Man of the Year too?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Miles Austin signed that contract, looked in Kim Kardashian's face, and never recovered after that.
You're right. It ended up going to Cleveland.
Yeah, ended up going to Cleveland. And still they recovered when he got to Siberia.
Yep.
Right. You know, Tony Romo is always my example of why you don't want a famous girlfriend like at the games, because remember when Shorty Doo-Wop was at the game for the Cowboys? And then she turned into some sort of a bad luck charm for you guys.
It was it.
Romo!
Jessica
Simpson.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, geez.
Weren't they doing the same thing with Taylor Swift that they were doing with Jessica Simpson? Like every time you turn around, they kept putting the camera in her face.
Yeah,
not as much as they were with
nothing.
Yeah.
She would be sitting still till she noticed the cameras was on her. Then she started going off. But
right, yeah.
At least Taylor Swift was into the game. Jessica was not into it.
And she's an Eagles fan, which is even funnier.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, got that
I can't
mojo
figure it. Well, we have to get up out of here because I want to be back down at the Red Brick House for free agent frenzy. You know, I'm going to live vicariously through other teams, you know, signing players and wishing that my team would do stuff to try and help themselves. And that means I've got to drive back down to the Red Brick House tonight. And I think the wind has been so bad that my daughter just said that the umbrella flew into the fish pond. So I need to go fish that out.
Damn. Well, I will say I'm hoping that we end up with it would be nice to see Saquon and DeAndre Swift on as our thunder and lightning in the backfield. You know, I'm hoping that we can.
Leo.
Yeah.
Read between
Right,
the lines, man.
Yeah.
Read between the lines, buddy.
I don't blame you for feeling that way. I don't blame you. If I was a Cowboys fan, I'd be feeling that way too, because you guys get to sit back and watch us work and be active, regardless of whether they're good moves or not. It's the fact that there's activity. You know what I'm saying? And it's the kind of activity that will make you think that we're all in without actually having to say that we're all in. And so we're not like we're not playing with you guys, with like the Philadelphia Eagles organization is not playing with their fans' emotions, sort of like what your boy Catboy and his dad doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel sorry for you. I love it. I love seeing you guys in this kind of turmoil. I think it's awesome. And I hope it continues. So I hope you guys are sick to your stomach with what we do.
Okay, Leo, enough. Okay. Go smoke a blunt or something, man. Damn.
I am.
Damn.
I am.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. All righty here. All right, good people. Any final thoughts here from anybody but Leo?
Oh, come really, Mark?
You can listen. You have no final thoughts. Your thoughts just run on like diarrhea.
Yes.
Come on, Mark. Mute him. Mute his ass.
Damn. All right. Final thoughts here before we get into free agent frenzy.
Well, as you know, free agency started in 24 hours. All us got to say is I just hope we pick up at least somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Anybody right now.
Except for anybody.
Two somebodies.
I just hope we pick up somebody, Derrick Henry.
There you go. All right.
Listening to y'all, boy. Wow.
Okay, Wade, I know says we ain't doing shit, so don't get it. Don't get hot.
I'm hoping.
I
got my fingers crossed, and I'm praying that maybe Jerry wake up one morning and be like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna spend every dollar I got, make all the trades. I don't know. I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah. What the hell?
Maybe
Stephen Jones is going to spend it all.
Throw Stephen Jones up against the wall. Hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Take it over.
There you go. Or get some other guys to throw him up against the wall for him.
Hopefully Jerry say something like, fuck this, Stephen. You the little fish in the pond. I'm the shark. I'm the tiger shark. I run this shit. Don't say another word no more. I'm gonna run this. This is gonna be 90s all over again.
I want Jerry to throw Steven up against the wall like Steven did him back in the 90s when Jerry wanted to get Dion. I want Jerry to just slam Steven up against the wall. We're going all in. I'm signing players. I'm making trades. Whatever.
How much cap room do you guys have?
Mark, I can hope, right?
Yeah,
Mark, how much cap money do y'all have?
$1 million.
Wait, hold up. I just want to. All of y'all just sat here and said, "I hope we see this. I hope we see that."
Oh, they can restructure. Now, understand. We haven't done. Hey, they restructured Zach Martin. They can restructure. They can grab $60 million tomorrow if they want to.
Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Okay, how we can do it?
They try to steal $1 from somebody else.
They'd already said they're going to restructure Trayvon and they're going to restructure Terrence Steele. They already said that, but they didn't say when.
Mm-hmm. And they don't want to be players early into free agency. That's why they're taking the time.
Yeah. What are you scared of? Scared money can't make no money. Mm-hmm. What are you scared of, Stephen? Your leopard face. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Wow, you are really into. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to be all in with $1 million or 1 point. What did you say? 1.2 something? 1.2 whatever.
$1.8 million is what we have at the moment. Okay.
Okay. $1 million.
Leo, why are you so worried about us? You need to be worried about your people up in Philadelphia, up in Montgomery County. You need to be worried about Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. Hell, your 2 Pro Bowl defensive ends is on the trading block. You need to be worried about them.
You know what? I don't disagree with that whatsoever. The point is though is that two of your players done retired, and you let go of one, and he got picked up by the Chicago Bears today. You thought I didn't know about that? He got picked up by Chicago today, and who? Avante?
No,
Kevin Byard.
Find out for yourself, man.
Kevin Byard was just signed.
Yeah.
Byard got picked up by Chicago today, 2 years and $15 million.
Good for him.
Oh, and then you got and then you released Devontae Maddox the other day.
Yep, Devontae Maddox. Right. Yep.
Hey, quiet as kept. Y'all been releasing some players too now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we are. But here's the thing: we are 8 picks and $60 million in cap space right now. So it's not like we don't have a means by which we can at least address those things.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah, and tomorrow, starting tomorrow, you're going to see that. It's called Howie season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is that y'all get to watch us, and we're not going to see anything about you guys. That's what's awesome about all of this.
I hear what you're saying.
Take advantage of it, because if you don't, we gonna see Philly 500 do a video.
Hey, I'm kind of
pitching a bid, and
the Eagles are gonna.
I'm guaranteeing that what you guys are going to get is you guys are going to get a full dose of the white rerun from Philly 500, because
we always get that from Philly 500, and you know what? We could always go back to a lot of them where it's like that didn't age very well either.
Well, you guys get to watch what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we'll watch what you don't do.
I want to see. I'll be watching to see if the Eagles open up the season with a 6-game losing streak, like how y'all ended the season.
There you go.
With a 6-game losing streak. How about that?
You know what, Wade? I could tell you've been waiting to get that one off for a long
You know
time.
what? I'm gonna end it with this one here.
Everywhere you get dizzy, you probably throw up everywhere.
Let's make it 12 games in a row. Let's make it 12 losses in a row.
All right, you need to stop.
And by the way,
That's what they do.
You look like you're doing something else. Just stop.
That's what they do. Going international first game of the year.
That's why I have a friend. That's all time. All you hear from him.
Tell me that if you don't win that game down in South America,
I know, make it so obvious. I don't even pack anymore like that. Pause. But
you better win.
Well, that's what it's called. It's called patching.
Joey's you pack.
Hey,